Imagine waking up tomorrow, sunlight streaming through your window, the familiar buzz of your phone on the nightstand. But this time, something's different. The internet is gone. Not just your Wi-Fi, every connection, everywhere, has vanished. No emails, no streaming, no way to check the weather or order your morning coffee. No social media, no online banking, no news, no way to call your family. The world as you know it has gone silent, cut off from the digital heartbeat we all depend on. This isn't science fiction. It's a real threat, and the clock is ticking. October 7th, 2025, is circled in red on the calendar of our digital future. Our sun, 93 million miles away, is a ticking time bomb. It can unleash a solar storm so powerful it could cripple our civilization in a matter of hours. In May 2025, sunspot AR 4087 fired X-class solar flares, causing radio blackouts and GPS failures. Flights were delayed, ships lost navigation, and emergency services scrambled to adapt. NASA warned, this was just a preview. The real storm could be far worse, with consequences we can barely imagine. The real danger. Coronal mass ejections, billions of tons of plasma and magnetic energy, hurtling toward Earth at millions of miles per hour. These are not just beautiful cosmic events, they are existential threats. Our magnetosphere shields us, but a strong CME can punch through, surging currents into power grids and undersea cables, the backbone of the global internet. The systems we rely on every day are more vulnerable than we think. These arteries are frighteningly fragile. A single surge could fry circuits, melt cables, and leave entire continents in the dark. The last major solar storm, the Carrington event of 1859, set telegraph offices on fire. Back then, the world was less connected. Today, the consequences would be catastrophic. Banking, healthcare, transportation, all paralyzed in an instant. The science is clear. It's not if, but when. Experts are racing to predict and prepare, but time is running out. Are we prepared for a world where every screen goes dark? Where the silence is not just unsettling, but absolute? Are we ready for the silence that would follow? A silence that could last for days, weeks, or even longer? The countdown has already begun. In 1859, the Carrington event unleashed auroras so bright they turned night into day, painting the skies with colors rarely seen by human eyes. The world was stunned as the heavens danced with light, a spectacle both beautiful and ominous. People could read newspapers at midnight, illuminated by the eerie glow. Telegraph systems, the cutting-edge technology of the era, sparked uncontrollably. Some operators received electric shocks through their equipment, while others watched in disbelief as papers literally caught fire from the surging currents. It was a wake-up call from the cosmos. Now, imagine that same raw energy surging through today's vast, interconnected power grids and the delicate web of fiber optic cables that keep our world running. Our dependence on electricity and digital communication is far greater than it was in the 19th century. A Carrington-level solar storm would overwhelm and destroy massive electrical transformers. These are custom-built giants, not easily replaced. In some cases, it could take months or even years to manufacture and install new ones, leaving entire regions in the dark. Blackouts wouldn't just be local. They would cascade across continents, plunging cities, towns, and rural areas alike into darkness. The ripple effects would be felt everywhere, from homes to hospitals to industries. No power means no running water, no refrigeration for food and medicine, no fuel at gas stations, and no way to charge our devices. The conveniences we take for granted would vanish almost instantly, leaving millions scrambling for basic necessities. The internet isn't just a magical cloud in the sky. It's a vast network of physical cables, data centers, and servers, all of which depend on a steady supply of electricity to function. Without power, our digital world would grind to a halt. Undersea cables, which connect continents and carry the world's data, rely on powered repeaters to boost signals across vast distances. A powerful solar storm could knock out these repeaters, severing digital ties between nations in an instant. Repairing these cables is a monumental task, slow, expensive, and nearly impossible without reliable power or GPS navigation. In a world already plunged into chaos, restoring global communications would be a race against time. A solar storm today wouldn't just disrupt our lives, it could dismantle the very infrastructure that supports modern civilization, leaving us isolated and vulnerable. The threat is real, and the clock is ticking. Are we prepared for the day when the sky falls on our wires? In May 2024, FEMA, NASA, and others ran a massive solar storm drill. The scenario, a Carrington-level event, hits in 2028. The result? Chaos. Agencies struggled, protocols failed, and the East Coast went dark for weeks in the simulation. The digital economy evaporated instantly. With the grid down, railways, pipelines, and supply chains collapsed. The warning time for a CME? Maybe 30 minutes. Imagine, a push alert, planet-altering solar storm in 30 minutes. What could you do? The answer: not enough. We're flying blind into a hurricane. When the ground internet fails, many look to the sky. SpaceX's Starlink. With thousands of satellites, it promises a decentralized global internet. In a disaster, it could keep first responders and governments connected. But Starlink is vulnerable. In 2022, a minor solar storm destroyed 40 new satellites. Low Earth orbit puts them right in the line of fire. Should we invest in hardening the grid or double down on satellites? A hardened grid is robust but costly. Satellites are flexible but fragile. A major storm could wipe out thousands of satellites, a massive financial and strategic loss. Is it wise to bet our future on a technology so exposed to space weather? The promise is real, but so is the risk. Which would you choose, a fortress on Earth or a fleet in the storm? More satellites mean more space debris. Starlink already causes thousands of close calls in orbit every week. One collision could trigger the Kessler syndrome, a chain reaction making space unusable for generations. But the danger doesn't end there. Dead satellites burn up, releasing aluminum oxide into the upper atmosphere. This could create a reflective layer, altering Earth's climate and depleting the ozone. We're running a massive, uncontrolled experiment on our own sky. In solving one problem, we risk creating another, one that could haunt us for centuries. The trade-off is rarely discussed, but it's real. Are we ready for the consequences? What does a solar storm mean for your money? Most wealth today is digital. Bank balances, investments, credit scores, all just data. A megastorm could erase access to your accounts, freeze the stock market, and halt global transactions. The financial system would freeze, commerce would stop, businesses couldn't pay employees, supermarkets couldn't restock. Physical cash would be all that's left, until even that loses value. The trust in digital money would shatter. A solar storm could erase records, corrupt data, and destroy faith in currencies. What would replace them? Barter? Gold? The questions are profound and terrifying. Our digital trust is more fragile than we think. The alert comes in. A massive CME, or coronal mass ejection, is just 30 minutes from slamming into Earth. Phones buzz, televisions blare, and the world is suddenly united in a moment of shared anxiety. The news spreads like wildfire, and everyone knows that something unprecedented is about to happen. The president and world leaders face a brutal, history-defining choice: shut down the entire power grid to protect vital infrastructure, or gamble and keep it running, risking total destruction if the storm hits at full force. The stakes are enormous, and every second counts as they debate the best course of action. A preemptive blackout could mean the difference between a recovery that takes years and one that takes only weeks. But what if the storm veers away at the last moment? Would the world have plunged itself into chaos for nothing? The uncertainty is agonizing. Meanwhile, Starlink operators and other satellite teams face their own impossible decision. Should they keep satellites online to provide emergency communications, risking their destruction, or power them down in hopes of saving them for the aftermath? Every option comes with a cost. New data pours in, and it's worse than anyone feared. The CME is even more dangerous than predicted, with the potential to overwhelm even the most robust defenses. Scientists scramble to update their models, but time is running out. Even with a full shutdown, there's no guarantee. The storm's intensity could still fry satellites and cripple communications. The margin for error is razor thin, and the consequences could echo for generations. As the first charged particles slam into the atmosphere, the sky erupts in breathtaking auroras, an eerie, beautiful warning of the chaos unfolding above and below. Across the globe, people gather with loved ones, waiting, hoping, and fearing the unknown. The world holds its breath, suspended between hope and dread. The fate of our civilization now hangs on the invisible laws of physics and the unpredictable fury of the sun itself. Humanity can only watch and wait. Will the lights come back on, signaling relief and survival, or is this the beginning of a long, silent darkness? The choice has been made. Now all that's left is to wait and hope.